Hello folks, I hope that you're having a great and safe day today. Today I want to give you a special edition here. It's basically, I call it my pre-400 special. I'm almost at 400. I've already planned a special video and I've actually recorded my 400th episode, but I wanted to do this as sort of a pre-400th special. It's different than what my normal channel normally looks at. What I want to do to you is tell you about how I lost 100 pounds and what I did to do it. I think that and how you can do the same. And I think that we are listening to the wrong signals in our body. So I want to talk to you about that, challenge you to listen to the new challenges in your body, the signals in your body. You know, one of the things we have to do as adults, you know, when you were a child, your parents would often override the signals in your body. You need to stay here and eat. You need to eat your vegetables. I don't want to eat my vegetables. Well, you got to do it anyway, or you're not getting up from the table, right? Did you go to bed? Nope. Well, you need to go to bed. It's your bedtime. You know, your parent would be managing those things for you. But as an adult, your job is to listen to the signals that your body has and live a healthy life, right? And we don't always do that. And I had been listening to the wrong signals and I hadn't realized it until I had an epiphany. So I want to share that epiphany with you, how I lost 100 pounds over some time, albeit with the epiphany. Now I just dropped my knife, so I'm going to go grab it and pull it back up. I'll begin. Because what I want to do is tell you about how your body sends signals and how the pain signal is similar to the hunger and thirst signal, but we don't treat it like such. So let's talk about it. All right, so here's a pocket knife that I have. It's a big pocket knife. I'm from West Virginia. You will always carry a large pocket knife with you. The best pocket knife is not a Swiss Army knife that has 10,000 different tools on it, because that will always have a bad knife. The key thing about a pocket knife is the knife part of that. So you would typically just carry one big, large knife like this from West Virginia. Anyway, this is my pocket knife. Let's say I'm using it to cut something, right? I'm holding what I'm cutting with my hand. Now, as long as I'm not feeling pain from this motion, I know that I don't need to change my behavior. Nothing is needed. I haven't accidentally cut myself, right? Or hurt myself. But as soon as this blade hits my skin and touches my skin, I start to feel a sensation of pain. Right here, it's right now it's poking my hand, right? That sensation of pain that I am feeling goes to my head and it says, you need to do something to stop this. Now, I don't have to. I can choose to keep doing this because I'm recording a video or whatever. The pain isn't that bad. But what I need to do is I need to remove the knife from the place. As soon as I've removed this knife from my finger and it no longer is poking it in the side, the sensation of pain goes away. I know I've done my job as a person who runs a body once I've removed the source of the pain, and the pain stops. That tells me that the sensation, the thing that I needed to do was done. But I wasn't taking any actions until I felt the pain. The pain is the signal that tells me action needs to be done. And the disappearance of pain tells me that I've done what I've needed to do. That's how your body works with pain. That's also how your body works with hunger too, when you need to eat. Now, I have lost almost 100 pounds, and before I tell you something, and sort of kind of where the signals come from, I have not exercised at all. I've never gotten a gym membership. I've never bought a diet pill. I never bought any of those diet books. I didn't go to see a dietitian. I did some research online, but I didn't do anything beyond that, and I don't think you need to either, although with the caveat that I'm doing this as a man. So to be fair, it is very possible that with a woman's physiology being very different than a man's, some of the tricks that I'm going to tell you about that I used to lose more than 100 pounds, and I'm still losing weight. I'm down to 181 as of this morning. But these little tricks that work for me as a man may not work for you as a woman, just as a caveat, because we have different bodies and different ways of losing weight. So just as a caveat, you know, before we begin. But I did this without any additional exercise, with any change at all in doing anything else. But I just changed one thing and one thing only. I listened to the signals of my body better. And that's it. So here's the first thing. You need to eat when you're hungry. I know that sounds simple, but the problem is that we typically don't. We typically eat when it's time to eat. But if you're not hungry, why are you eating at that time? You know, if you eat during lunchtime because you have a lunch hour that's open, and so you're taking your lunch hour, but you're not hungry, why are you eating? Your body isn't telling you to eat. That food isn't needed. Similarly, if you get home from work, it's 5:30 at night, 6 o'clock at night, and you eat simply because that's when you always eat, even if you're not hungry, what are you doing, right? If you're eating with some other people, but you're not hungry, why are you eating a full meal? Just because it's that time on a calendar. We regularly eat to a calendar, not to what our body is telling us to do. By eating at other times when we're not hungry, we take on more calories than we need on a daily basis, and that's how we lose weight. That's how I gained so much weight. When I graduated from college, I was at a svelte 175. Within 7 or 8 years, I'd gained a few pounds a month without even noticing, and I've lost it up to almost 275 pounds. And I'm back down to 181. Now, after years of doing what I've been doing slowly over time, it's a slow, healthier style of eating. But the key is don't eat unless you're hungry. And if that means you eat multiple times a day, and you're eating more times a day than you might otherwise, or at other times, that's fine. Just like you wouldn't do anything until you're feeling pain from the knife. You don't need to remove the knife or stop cutting if you're not cutting yourself. In the same way, you shouldn't be eating if you're not hungry. It sounds obvious, but most people aren't acting like that. But the second one is more important. How do you know that it's time to stop eating? It's very simple for me. I stop eating when I stop being hungry. Because I'm not eating, I don't eat until I'm full. I eat until I stop being hungry. It's like pain. The pain is telling you that you need to pull the blade away. Once I pull the blade away, the pain ends, and that's it. I've done what I needed to do. I don't keep pulling the blade away. If I'll use this as an analogy again. If I'm poking myself with this blade, right? I've pulled the blade away. The pain has stopped. I don't need to do anything more. I don't need to take this blade, fold it up, put it away, walk it into a drawer 3 rooms away. I don't need to do anything more. The issue has stopped, and I've stopped it, and I know I've stopped it because the pain signal has stopped. Well, you ate because you were hungry, right? So if you're eating because you're hungry, stop eating when that signal is sent to you. Don't eat until you're full. The full signal isn't your body saying it's time for you to stop eating. It's your body saying you have eaten too much. And I wasn't doing that. When I was a kid and I was growing up and I was expending more calories in a day, and I was only eating a couple of times a day, then that was, I needed more calories because I was growing up, you need more calories and so forth. But eating until you're full just doesn't make sense for me as an adult. And for the people that I've talked to about this, who have started eating only until they stop being hungry rather than till when they're full, have also had some success at losing weight as well. So that's why I'm providing it for you too. We're listening to the wrong signal. You're eating at the wrong times. You're eating when you're not hungry, and then when you do eat, you're eating until you're full, which is when your body's saying, "Hey, you ate too much," rather than eating until you stop being hungry, which is when the sensation of hunger goes away, and that's when you know you've eaten enough. So what I wind up doing on a day is I tend to eat a few times a day. More times, but less. And so I come in, and then I just count calories with the rest of the things that I do. I try to make sure that I come in under 2,000 calories each day, which is easy to do because I eat a few times a day, and I don't eat that much. So for example, for lunch, I typically have a sandwich. Now, I'm a guy, and I eat guy foods. I like my bacon, I like my sandwiches, I like my bologna, I like my meats, I like my cheeses. I don't eat a healthy diet, right? When I have my sandwich for lunch, for example, today I had a bologna sandwich. The bologna was a high quality bologna that I got from the deli. I also had a deli cut slice of Colby Jack cheese with it. I'm not eating a salad, right? And then I had as well. I used mustard. Mustard is an ideal condiment of choice because it has a lot fewer calories in it than mayonnaise. Or I'll sometimes just eat it dry. If it's a good sandwich with some high quality meats, but I often just use French's mustard, which is the yellow mustard, which has very few calories in it at all, and so it's a calorie free way of having a lunch with something additional. I ate it, but I didn't eat anything else. I didn't have snacks. I didn't have sides. I didn't eat it with a bag of chips or anything like that, right? And so by only having that, once I finish the sandwich. And then what I'll do is around 3 or 4 o'clock when I start to get hungry again, I'll do the same thing. I'll have another, today I had a Campbell's chunky bowl of soup right around 3:30 in the afternoon. Because again, I was getting hungry at that time. So my body was telling me to eat. So I did. And then I only ate until a bowl of Campbell's chunky soup. It's filling. It has a lot of calories in it, but it doesn't have that many calories. And now I'm not hungry anymore. And now I'll wait until my next time I get hungry, which could be 6:30, 7 o'clock after eating this on average. when my body starts telling me I'm hungry again. And then I'll have something else. Maybe I'll have a tuna sandwich or something like that, which is also light in calories. And they have a lot of those sorts of things. And again, I'm just going to eat like a man. I'm eating sandwiches. I'm eating bologna. I'm eating high quality cheeses. On a daily basis. I'm not eating super healthy foods. I'm not eating salads. I'm not eating things like that. I'm just eating less, and oftentimes multiple times a day, and only when I'm hungry. And only when my body says you need to eat. And then I only eat until my body says, okay, you're done, you're full. I'm sorry, no, you're not full, but you stop being hungry, and then I stop eating. So I eat smaller portions as a result. And so I come in under 2,000 calories. Another way I come in under 2,000 calories each day is that I don't drink my calories. I'll drink a lot of fun stuff. I don't just drink plain water. Usually, probably have about an average of a bottle across the entire day. Over with that, I'll typically have some black coffee, some Diet Coke, some of that flavored packets that you can pour into the water, those sorts of things. But those don't come with any calories, right? Unsweetened iced tea doesn't have any calories. It's got a flavor to it, so I'm not adding any calories to my daily intake. I'm still getting a fun drink out of it, and again, I'm able to do that and still lose weight. By drinking those things. I also find it's just better not to drink your calories. Eat your calories, don't drink them. You can eat great calories, you can have bacon, you can have eggs, you can have high calorie things just in smaller portions and multiple times a day when you get hungry. And then that's it, you're done. And by doing that and eating that and holding myself to that schedule, I lose weight. And I've lost almost 100 pounds now. I've lost about 95 pounds over several years, and I will probably lose maybe 4 or 5 pounds a month. It's slow, it's steady, and oftentimes because you'll go to a restaurant and you'll eat that 1,000 calorie meal or something like that. You'll have way too many calories. Sometimes so you'll kind of go back and forth and so forth. But you'll find that overall your body is going to go down if you just listen to those other different signals that your body's doing. Only eat when you're hungry. Only eat until you stop being hungry, and then be calorie sensitive with the things that you're eating. Try to come under 2,000 a day, whether that's by not reducing the calories that you're drinking or by reducing your calorie content in the meal that you're having and so forth. But I find that those things are the keys for me. And you don't need to buy a plan. You don't need to get diet pills. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to get a couch to Y2K in a month. You don't need to go to a dietitian and pay for a dietitian. You don't need to pay anything, and you don't need this massive amount of self-control, right? All I do is I just listen to my body differently, right? And it works, and I think it can work for anybody too, at least any guy who wants to come in under 2,000 calories a day. And so that's how I lost almost 100 pounds, and I'm still losing weight. I've lost weight this last month because of the same thing, and without making a major change to my sort of style of living. So there you are. Have you lost weight or anything else like that? Would you like to talk about this more? What did you think of my video? I'm happy to talk with you or engage with about it further. My hope is that this will get us to 400 subscribers. For my 400 subscriber, I'm going to talk about my favorite Greek philosopher. I love philosophy. I went to go study it as a master's degree, and so I love philosophy. Who's my favorite Greek philosopher? I think it's a fun conversation to have. These are bonus videos to the channel that's also about, typically there are two things my channel does. My life living with Huntington's disease, which I do once a week every Saturday, which is a neurological degenerative disease that attacks you 3 different ways, and I've been living with it for 7 years now. And then I also do reviews of classics in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, or other sort of videos where I do analysis in addition to my reviews. So that's it. Again, if you like this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. There's going to be a lot of these videos to follow. I really enjoy doing them. And finally, I want to thank you for watching my video, because we all have so many things happening in our lives. We're pulled in so many different directions, right? So the fact that you spent this time with me, that is so humbling. And I really do appreciate that. So thanks again, and have a good one.